It is my hope that this presentation can provide some useful documentation in support of the effort to expose the ongoing crime of chemtrail spray operations being perpetrated against the human race and our planet's environment. My research into the chemtrail phenomenon began much like many others. I began to keep photographic documentation of chemtrail spray activity over my home in Phoenix, Arizona. I began to wonder how aircraft contrails, which are said to be icy crystals of water vapor, could persist in the atmosphere over one of the driest places on Earth, the Sonoran Desert. The official government story is that the aircraft contrails that we see forming parallel lines, grids, X's, and circles are simply persistent contrails that form when water vapor from hot jet engine exhaust rapidly condenses in the extremely cold temperatures of the upper atmosphere and can persist as icy crystals of cirrus-type clouds under the right conditions of atmospheric relative humidities which are above 60%. Using the required scientific parameters for persistent contrail formation, I began to check the upper atmosphere weather data, which is collected on a twice-daily basis with sensors and instrumentation attached to weather balloons. What I did of moisture droplets emanating from jet exhaust that rapidly condense into ice crystals in the extremely cold temperatures of the stratosphere. However, the bottom line is that operational National Weather Service Doppler radar cannot, I repeat, cannot detect cirrus clouds. Divided on this chart from the National Weather Service, we can see that the horizon-oriented Doppler weather radars, which are set to a maximum angle of 4.3 degrees, would not detect clouds above 20,000 feet within a 35-mile radius of the radar. Yet, in many cases, on these Doppler radar images, we can see the aircraft contrails almost directly overhead of the Doppler radar's location. These aerosol crimes to the light of day. More research, images, and references can be found on my website at watchthesky.org. Thank you.
Movie short. And this is Lockheed Martin, you know, one of my favorite military contractors.
There are millions of objects in space. Every time there's a launch to space or a collision in space, there's going to be extra objects.
Remember, that includes us, because situational awareness is a term you will find often in anything having to do with life on Earth. We are now the studied species in preparation for the transhumanist future. This is just a picture here of some of the predictive programming we're undergoing in Battleship 2012. You see the roundness, you can see the straight spike up. Okay, so energy, that would be a bit of plasma energy going straight up, not a laser. Laser would look different. And then the roundness. And then here we had a TV show called Under the Dome. I don't have a TV, so I missed it. But you see the dome there, and that is part of the plasma Tesla dome that Tesla talked about and is now here. The plasma dome can be created over small areas such as HAARP in Gakona, Alaska. My friend Billy Hayes, the HAARP man, was flown up there in a C-130 to view it as it was being made and then to view it as it was taken down. It looks like a video game. One could only hope.
Forget all this stuff, I just want to enjoy the steak.
Вітаю вас, 11 у Києві, на 5-му час новин. У студії з вами Катерина Кельбус.
WTTV Channel 4 has been a part of Central Indiana for more than 55 years. Now, we're honored that we're CBS 4, your new home for the CBS network.
To pull people to a certain angle or another angle. Okay, it's going to be financial collapse.
Or whatever.
It'll be the
Let the killer bees or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, etc.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this New Year's Day, Thursday, January 1st, 2015.
Right now, we're going to turn things over to Lindsay Riley.
Clouds, the sun, the poles.
All right. Good morning to you all at home, and Happy New Year.
The human species.
Okay, that's enough. Gives you an idea that they're going up into the orbital, and then they're gradually, because of centrifugal force, falling to right around the equator. So we will have a Saturn ring. So I really thought this of course is what they want, is they want to be able to communicate with other planets. Yes, we are there. Maybe. I'll show you something in a little bit, and we'll ask that question again. So this is taken by the Cassini probe over the North Pole of Saturn. And here you actually see plasma. Plasma is the fourth state of matter. It can be a gas, it can be fire, it has various phases in between. So a hexagon. The sun is looking like a hexagon these days. Yeah. The hexagon is very important in the geometric nature, even of the atom bomb, or the hydrogen bomb, or any plutonium bomb. Any type of nuclear device is geometric and usually hexagonal. Very important. Okay, so that. And now I just wanted to mention the Van Allen belts problem. You must know that we supposedly went to the moon in 1969.
Is about the Orion test flight, liftoff to splashdown, and they basically talk about what needs to be done in order for this project to take place. And so NASA engineer Kelly Smith is on there, he's explaining stuff, but he says something really interesting. So let's check this out.
As we get further away from Earth, we'll pass through the Van Allen belts, an area of dangerous radiation. Radiation like this could harm the guidance systems, onboard computers, or other electronics on Orion. Naturally, we have to pass through this danger zone twice, once up and once back. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
What?
Good morning from Gakona, Alaska. We are here at the U.S. government's brainwashing facility in the middle of nowhere. It's called HAARP, H-A-A-R-P. And if you believe in conspiracy theories and fun stuff like that, this is a cool place to check out. But you also have to make sure you wear protection, because you don't want to be brainwashed while you're here. So you got to have your foil hats.
All right, so the first part of the tour
It's totally something out of a science fiction movie.
I'm still feeling like I have more questions than answers.
Yeah, we need to go inside and listen to one of the lectures.
Yeah.
And nobody read that or cared about that right until this facility was starting to be built. The first story came out in Popular Mechanics, and I think it was in 1992. And they showed, a HAARP facility blowing up.